Unforgiveness in portion is the refusal to accept what has happened as what happened. It's a refusal to acknowledge a wrongdoing. This is one. That's one aspect. That's one way resentment is born. The resentment. I think the resentment and long-term resentment is what causes so much damage in the human psyche. And what the resentment is basically what a resentment is it's feeling the hate or the anger or the mad, frustrated feelings at someone or a situation or whatever. It could be even more than that. It could be institutions. It could be from a company a person worked at or something, not just an individual. So a question might be is like, so what? Why not? Why not hold someone in hate? Why not? Why is it okay? Why is it not okay to hate someone if they're not a good person or whatever? Why is it okay? Why is it not okay to hate them? Well, from what I see so far, is it messes up it messes up our natural functions as a human being, as a responsible human being. And here's one of the main things that I would say is one of the major issues with holding somebody in unforgiveness. And this is it. It's like to thrive in life, and I'm not just talking about money. Well, yeah, kind of that too, but to succeed in life, a person has got to be able to accept and own everything that's happening to them, whether they brought it on themselves or whether it came about through outside forces, whether it was done to them unjustly and justice was never served. Whatever those things are, it's the person. It's a person's only way out of that is to own it, to take it and say, yep, it's mine, and it's all on me to fix it somehow, to make it right somehow, with at least myself, or to fix whatever it messed up in my life. Instead of just, see, that's the thing right there. See, with resentment, instead of working on correcting the stuff and owning the situation, or saying, okay, this happened to me or whatever, I was betrayed this way or that way, and this is everything that it messed up, financially or emotionally, or, whether it be, your public standing or whatever. It's an individual's responsibility to own it. Like, say if I had like 2 or 3 things in my life that happened unjustly and justice was never served, and it damaged me psychologically, emotionally, financially, cost me years. Now, if I stay in hate, or the other option is to start working it out, to turn it into something, to make something of it, to create it into something else, to basically repurpose it, so to speak, to own it, to all the damage that's done, start working on it, fix it, correct it. Because to not correct it, that just leaves it all dinging around in the back of my mind, burning up fuel, burning up emotions. And And it breeds a victim mentality. It breeds a self-pity, an underlying self-pity in the person. And it bleeds through the relationships. It bleeds through in all the relationships, current relationships coming up. And I think that's the number one. That's the number one issue with holding someone in hate. And another thing is most generally from what I've seen so far is usually holding on to hate, unforgiveness for someone who has betrayed you or whatever. It really needs to be processed out as a pain, a sorrow, a sadness. There should be a grieving process for it. And usually that's not what happens. There should be a healing process and then the process of cleaning the mess up immediately. But that's usually not what most of us do. We don't. We just hold people in contempt. We hold them in hate instead of expressing pain for a pain that's a sadness or that betrayal that it was. We swap that feeling out and those emotions and inject anger and hatred there and disgust. And and it just never gets processed out emotionally. Just that one thing right there creates a toxic life. Anyways, it is a really long day in school. And sadly, it is too common that so many relationships run like this. And these kind of relationships, if you know what to look for, you can spot it fairly easy. It's characterized basically by four things: fault finding, blaming, guilt trips, and shame. All those emotional manipulations. Forcing things to work that's not really working. And, it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. But too many times that's what happens. Myself, personally, this is what I've seen. Both sides. It's like I'm either on this side, being this person doing the fault finding and the blaming and the guilt trips and the shame game, to force them into what I want out of them, or I'm on the other side where I'm getting that done to me, or somewhere's like in the middle, doing both back and forth. But anyways, but all of that would never be possible without all those little pile-ups of unforgiveness and resentment issues, first and foremost. Because I think the better a person can accept their whole life for its entirety and to be working on it consistently. And when I mean consistently, that's like every day. There is no days off. Whether it's just 3 minutes a day, 3 minutes, that small amount, that's the way of saying to yourself, hey, I got you. I'm making it up to you. I got you covered, brother. It's like becoming two of yourself. The one of yourself is making it up to you to take care of yourself. It's like, hey, that's been done wrong to you. That's caused a lot of years. You've lost a lot of harm, financial problems, emotional problems, but hey, I got you. I'm making it up to you, even if I can do it 3 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 7 minutes a day. I'm doing all these little things to make it up to you. Hey, I got you, bro. See, those are some of the ways that to me, that's my method, the way I'm using to dig my way out. Even though I would say a huge portion of my mess in my life is from my own unhealthy coping mechanisms. But as for all the unforgiveness, damage, and resentments I've had throughout the years and had long term, and staying in the self-pity mode or the victim mentality is, the only way out is for me to do the self-talk, to talk to myself, to tell myself, hey, I got you, bro. And these are the things I'm doing on a daily basis, little by little. This is what I'm doing, little by little, in this area, to make it up to you, to make it right. Even though there is no magical genie or anything else going to jump in here and fix it for you. There's no savior that's going to jump in here and fix it for you. I'll fix it for you. I got you, bro. See that? See, that's self-reconciliation. Self-reconciliation isn't a very big topic. It does, at surface level, it does sound kind of silly because you think self-reconciliation, well, is to be stepping into reconciliation with whoever or whatever. That's a twofold kind of thing. Well, yeah, there's that, but there's also this. And I think the better a person gets at being self-reconciled and forgiving themselves and making it up to themselves, whether it was things they brought on themselves or whether things unjustly done to them, to own it and to correct it and to be making it up to themselves. And to accept the fact that no, there's no magical genie that's going to come save you and correct it for you and make it up to you, that it's all on you to correct what's wrong in your life. It is all on you. Now, that's not to say you have to do it alone. I'm not saying that. Please don't take me as saying that. But it is all on myself to make it my own. And to make it my own means I'm responsible for it, and I accept the responsibility to correct the things and take action and keep correcting them until they're done, and take them out one by one. And it could take years, but it's okay. It's like, as long as a person is making it up to themselves to make things right, to self-reconcile, for that they will find freedom, and they will learn to thrive, and not just, they won't be in survival mode, and they won't be in victim mentality mode. They won't gravitate towards the other people that pat them on the back and tell them and give them sympathy. See, sympathy and empathy are two different things. Very two different things, you know. Usually people that are sympathizing with one or another, they think they're giving each other empathy when it's really just perpetuating a victim mentality and self-pity mentality. But that's not the case with all of them and everyone, so don't assume I'm putting everyone all in the same basket. I'm just drawing a rough sketch of the human psyche. And case in point, if any man or any woman wants to be the best them that they can be, and then by the time they live their life and they go into the grave and they die, they will know that they lived a victorious life. Because a victorious life is like, bam, take a hit from that. It's like it was just unjust, and then it never gets taken care of, or justice is never served, and then you're left to fix it. It's either fix it or be trapped by it. So you fix it little by little, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. Next thing you know, bam, you're on top of the situation. It's like boom. And then it starts gaining momentum and starts gaining more momentum and more momentum. And then you find yourself being strong without being cocky. You find yourself standing in a whole new victory without being like driven by ego or being arrogant. It's like you can stand very firm without coming off as being an arrogant asshole. It's like you can address certain things in a stern way. You can be salty with people without being bitter. And that's the kind of men and women we really, really, really need nowadays, more and more. We really do. And it seems like we're lacking that. Seems like our focus is more on other things. Well, that's 15 minutes. CTA, call to action. Honestly, look at yourself, ask yourself, it's like, have I owned everything that has ever been unjustly done to me and fixed it and made it up to myself, even though in all reality, it's like it's not my responsibility to fix, but it's like if I want my life to improve, I must fix it? Are there any areas like that dinging around in the back of the head? Something from maybe childhood, teenage days, early 20s, 30s, whatever age you are. Is there anything dinging around like that? Are there areas in your life where you're shut down? When you look in the mirror, no matter how bad off your life is, can you look in the mirror and say, yeah, I pretty much got most of this. There might be a little smidge here and there. I might have like 99 days to where I'm working on, and then that's all on me. And then have this one day that seems like hopeless, and I need God's help. And I ask God for that help, and I get that help that one day. Am I aware that, am I humble enough to say that, yeah, it's beyond human aid. It's got to have God's help. And when I say it, I mean the human psyche, the human mind, humanity. So that's the call to action. Am I victorious or am I victim? Am I thriving or am I surviving? See, because thriving, you can be broke, you can be in debt, you can have everything falling down around you, but as long as you're putting a little bit of effort into each area to rectify each situation, even if it's just a couple of minutes a day, we can all do a couple of minutes a day, every day. And if we do that, that's like telling our mind, and our mind's picking up like, it's like there's two parts of our mind and our heart, and it's like the mind and the heart's like, okay, he's working on it, he's working on it, he's working on it. Bam, reward, 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 reward. Bam, 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 bam. Next thing you know, bop, bop, bada bing, standing firm. Anyways, that's 15 minutes. Have a good one. See you in the funny papers.